need another cheeseburger.
He's middle management of men, Wesley Fox. A tamer of building codes and fires, Alan Giannis. And he delivers for America, Andrew Murr. Together, they are the Middle Class Holes.
All right, so right before I'm coming downstairs to record, Sarah, she actually has a soccer game here in about 15 or 20 minutes, real late night one. Anyway, she gives me a hug.
That's
I give her a hug.
That's sus.
Yeah, I know.
That's a little sus. A little sus.
That's a little sus.
A little sus.
Early in the marriage. Maybe hire a PI or something. It's like, she's a good soccer player, man. You got a good one. She's giving me a hug, and she goes, oh, wait. You got a whitehead on the back of your neck. I'm like, all right. And then proceeds to squeeze the hell out of it like 12 times in a row. And it's like, I feel like Johnny Depp in Fear and Loathing. Like, just pop the fucking thing.
Or don't.
It keeps slipping.
That is such a weird female instinct. It's like, it reminds you like when you watch like, I don't know, some David Attenborough thing. It's like, I'm the female gorilla, likes to pick the wounds from the other and eat the scabs. It's like they have some weird biological instinct where they have to go and, like, I don't know, manicure each little morsel of skin. And just I've never met a dude that's like, hey man, thing looks right. Let me get my thumbs on there.
I think I've grown accustomed to it, but it was just like the 6 and 7 stabs at it. I'm like, if I could see it, it would be one swoop, boom, gone.
Mm-hmm. If you can't get it in 2 efforts, leave it.
Yeah.
Because whatever damage you're going to do to my fucking body is going to be worse than what it looks like right now.
Agreed.
You're right.
Yeah, they don't. They're not experiencing the pain, so they don't or the discomfort. You know what I mean? So they just keep hacking at it, and you're just like, stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
I agree with Mert. 2 times. That's all you get.
That is, and I do have a higher pain tolerance than she does, and there's certain points where she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No," but fucking do it.
We're this far,
get in there, sink in.
We've dug this ditch this deep. We ain't stopping now. What the fuck are you talking about?
Get the moles while you're at it. Fucking rip those. Get the fingernail clippers. Go to work,
dude. I had something on my nose one time, and of course, this is high school. This is where you don't, and so I was squeezing on it, and it was not coming, and it was even worse because like my fingernails ended up digging into the skin. I just went and got a needle, fucking lit that bitch on fire as long as I could, and just lanced. Oh, it looked rough, dude. People at school were like, "You all right? What is that?" It was so bad that they didn't make fun of me. So it's like I almost, I somehow went past the make fun of them dividing line, which was kind of amazing in its own right.
I think lancing it kind of puts you in a little badass territory. So, Middle Class Holes, everyone, Murr, Allen, and Fox. Man, I want to get to a more pressing need that happened in my life. I had to sever ties with an old friend. I had to cut the umbilical cord, chop a little off the top. An old reliable that just sat in my pocket that became a part of my life each and every day. And I had to say goodbye to an old phone. An old Galaxy S10. Alan, you looked this up. This was circa 2019, I think.
I think it was something like that when I looked it up. I can check real quick. You said an S10?
S10, yeah.
I
got it.
Like a Chevy?
yeah, right. Go Rocky, right. It is. And I'll give you a little rundown.
2019. Yeah,
I think I got it right before COVID, the fall of 2019. So
checks out.
It was a delicate balancing act to get it to charge. I had to get it right. I had to balance it on certain things. It would constantly come dislodged. It took about 4 to 5 hours for it to charge fully, and if I farted around on it for 10 minutes, it'd be down to 92%. Occasionally, it would just say no data, and I'd have to get one of Sarah's earrings and pop the SD card out and push it back in. And it I think one of the last straws was, Alan, when I went up to watch that Newcastle game with you, and I was trying to fly my drone, which requires in this instance a USB-C end, and it said you need to update the app, and it you have to have it plugged in and synced up with the drone in order to update the app, and it kept stopping about halfway. Connection, disconnection. It's like, motherfucker. So the thing I really liked about it was the size. And I searched high and dry for something comparable to this and about the same width. and it's impossible. The new phones are like the size of fucking Dr. Jones's Grail and The Last Crusade, man. It's just they're massive. And I got an S23 Plus. It's, I think a 2-year-old version. Still plenty heavy.
Well, you also got the Plus, which is the bigger version of the phone, too.
Yeah, but I did. Don't get me wrong. It sucked to get rid of an old friend. The new friend's good. The new friend's got some robust power. It charges.
Well, that's why I stick to the iPhone SE, which of course has like
what that means.
A brick of a battery pack. The SE is basically they will put the latest processor in it, but it's basically an old ass iPhone that they've just simply upgraded the processor for you. So it's the size of the original iPhone. It's small. I don't like I've got a tablet. I don't need a tablet in my pocket. It's cheaper. Yeah. It's like $400 versus like $1,300 for the new jams. And you know what too, Wes? I think this comes from like our parents are proper boomers, and they didn't waste. They reused. You used what you had until it was gone. I think we still have like we're like the last bastion that holds on to the remnants of a previous generation.
So that's what I was going to ask you two guys. Like, do you guys have things that it just... all right. This reminded me, I watched this video online of a guy getting confronted by his wife, and the subtitle was, "This is why men won't open up." And she asked him why he's upset, and he realized there was like this 40-year-old ball of wire. And he's like, and I've used it, and I realized, like, this is 40 years of my life. And she said, "Oh, I thought you were upset because of your Jets hat." He's like, I'm done. I'm not discussing this anymore.
Yeah.
But I still have them. I don't use them, but I had a University of Maryland basketball shorts that I bought when I was at a Gary Williams camp when I was 16. And it got to a point where the waistband was just like withered to bits. I mean, I'd have to like tie those fuckers super tight in order for them to stay on my waist. And I didn't throw them away. They're in my, I guess my historical clothing area of shirts and things that I acquired through the years. My Ironbirds hat that I wear on the show from time to time. I've had that thing longer than I haven't had it. There's exposed wiring that'll stab me in the temple. There's guys, I think there's, tools seem to be a big one. The old trusty pickup, the lift from the top freezer in garages. These things were built in the 50s that are still getting things dry, ice rotted.
Well, I mean, when it comes to tools, though, I mean, if they don't make them like they used to because this generation readily replaces everything. Alan's a collector of things. I feel like people who are collectors of things tend to not be nostalgic about like old things. Does that shake out?
I don't really collect things, though. I don't think.
Yeah, but you collect. Okay, hold on. Don't you have like a whole thing of like figurines or something, action figures or something? I remember when you were moving, you had like a whole stack of something behind the table that you were like, oh yeah, they're gonna come in the move. And then you collect the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer stuff because you're a Christmas baby, and that's like part of your nostalgia. Yeah. I collect nothing, zero. There's nothing that I'm like, ooh, I want that to sit on my wall. Nothing.
But like, well, doesn't that kind of contradict, I think, the point you were making that you like you're nostalgic about shit?
But like, I don't throw anything away that I have. But the things that I'm nostalgic about aren't like trinkets.
I don't understand what's happening here.
I don't know if that's nostalgia.
He said, more of it is, I don't hold on to shit, but I also don't throw anything away. You guys are nostalgic. I'm not nostalgic, but somehow you are nostalgic by not holding on to things.
Okay,
but you also don't throw things away. How does any of what you said? Okay, all right, I'll restart, please.
Okay, all right. So check this out. Like, let's say there's like, ooh, look at that Batman figurine from the Frank Miller series. Like, I really want that to sit on my TV stand.
I don't do that.
I don't do that. But if I'm going through old clothes and it's like, oh, look at this. This is the Haverty Gray soccer shirt that I had when I was 10 years old. Oh, I can't get rid of this. Like, I'll keep that kind of crap that means nothing to no one. No one's going to come in my house and be like, is that a 1989 Haverty Gray soccer shirt? It sure is. Vintage. No one cares but me.
Nah, I'm just the same way. I mean, I think you're probably talking about my Warhammer toys, but those are like, I mean, they're not like real. I guess they're collectibles, kind of, but they actually like functional. You play a game with them. But I also have my fucking high school homecoming T-shirts. Like, so I don't know. I think you see the thing. Like, I don't have those kinds of things like you're saying, like the fucking Batman. Nope, that's not me. Yeah. Like, you can't play with that.
Right. Okay.
Like,
well,
I'm one of those guys where, like, yeah, I'm not one of those, like, keep shit in packages.
Okay, good.
Kind of shit. You
that's
get
what
I'm
I was
saying?
Like, that's kind of what I was getting at. Is like, if I buy it, I'm using it. I don't buy anything to sit and not find some pleasure out of it. I don't get people that, like, people buy these WWF and the Funko Pop. Is that what they were called? The little Funko, like, they're
I have some of those, but also those are out of the package, and like they've gone to my work desk and they're on this desk, and like, you know what I mean. So
there's a kind of a hybrid going on there. Alan at least buys it and then pulls it out of its packaging. There are people that will buy storage lockers and stack these fuckers from kind of like the Beanie Baby craze back in the day. Like, you didn't buy a Beanie Baby, so like, oh, I'm going to give this to my 5-year-old niece so she can play with it. No, you leave the tag on. We're laminating it. We're going to keep its credentials in a binder somewhere because this is going to be your college fund one day. Like, no, it's not. Don't buy that shit if that's what you want it to be.
Yeah. No, that's Kelly and her sister. Kelly not as bad. Kelly has a tub of Beanie Babies. There's probably something in there worth a little something. But no, she has like weird shit. Like the kind of shit that people were like, yeah, I want that fucking McDonald's Beanie Baby from fucking 1996. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. Like, I still got the full set of original Pokemon cards. I know for a fact that's worth a couple grand.
Yeah, they are.
But other than that,
in case the shit hits the fan fund.
No, I mean,
I don't
think that's buying me a ticket on the fucking lifeboat to Mars. Like, I don't. Gotcha. That's not gonna work. But yeah, no, I feel you. I don't like those people. Kelly's sister does that a lot, and it's like, dude, just open it. I've even told her, I'm like, dude, just let me in the room. I'll just open everything, and it'll be over. It'll be done. We'll be done. We'll be done here. We'll be done here.
Therapy.
Well, yeah, everybody will be better for it.
I had an Adidas, just plain white, three stripes were blue Adidas T-shirt that I got for Christmas, and it became evident within the first couple times wearing it was just wildly too big. It excited a certain demographic, not the thread that's cut from here. So it turned into a basketball shirt that I then cut the sleeves off, and I inadvertently cut the sides a little too long. And I played basketball, and I got caught shooting hoops downtown, and it started raining its ass off. So I was walking back to my parents, soaking wet, and I just threw it on the porch, and it got discarded on top of an old lawnmower engine that my dad and his buddy were working on, and there were rust spots on it, and I still wore it to bed like for another 10 years. Finally someone was like, I think you just let that one go. I was like, I don't know, man, it's really comfortable. Lets the sides breathe. Look at that.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like phones, because I don't know, it's more being frugal to me. Like, I know you guys, Alan makes fun of me about my home computer all the time. Once it gets warmed up and starts rolling, baby, it's fine. It's a 10-year-old Mac, and it works. But I also don't want to spend $1,000, because I feel what ends up happening is, sure, I'm going to plug it in, it's going to be 10 times faster, it's going to do everything without stalling out and all that jazz, and I probably will be happier in the long run. But I feel like I don't want to part with like $1,200, $1,300, $1,400. So there's that. Because I feel like the high score I'm going for is in my bank account and like not what's cluttering my house up with all the bullshit. And I'll never get rid of this computer. It'll literally just sit in a closet somewhere. I have old towers from like computers from probably 1993 that aren't like, well, there might be something on that hard drive. Well, if there is, you haven't missed it in the last 20 fucking years.
Yeah. There's a thing of it. Men always carry the pointless box of cables. Audio and connector cables.
They're only pointless if you don't need one day, and one day you're going to need one. I keep weird-shaped pieces of wood because you never know. I have like a box. I have a storage bin in my garage. It's oddly shaped items because you just never know when you're gonna fucking need that shit.
And behind that's the body blade, right?
The body blade is actually pretty front and center these days because one day I need to make you know what? I should probably find some. I probably have some old 1980s bike shorts, some nice, probably like dry rotted lycra I can put on. Maybe I'll make an exercise video for you guys, show you the true potential of the body blade.
I was going to say, so we've been clamoring for some alt content. I think this, the body blade and you and some biker shorts is ripe.
Not biker,
ripe for the pickings.
Bicyclist shorts.
Bicyclist, that's right. Yeah. Lance Armstrong, Jacques. I was going to say Jacques Cousteau. I don't know who's the who's the Greg LeMond. Gotcha. Yeah, perfect.
But then again,
I think that hundreds of views,
dressing up in some mid '80s leather might make a better video.
Might excite the crowd a little bit. Well, the new phone is pumping. It does everything I needed to do, just a little bigger than I anticipate. But got this new thing. I got the magnet back, which is nice. Got a little. It's
the way to be.
Right in there. Yeah, lovely. Real quick before we get to our friend or foe, the Indy 500. Don't know if it's being sponsored or ran by the people who run the Indianapolis 500 on Memorial Day weekend, which is coming up. But it's going to be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's the Wiener 500. I couldn't figure out for the life of me how long they're going to run. It's not 500 miles. It's not 500 laps. But Oscar Mayer, which is famous for its Wiener dog mobile, is going to be running 6 individual types of Wiener mobiles in the Wiener 500. Who will get themselves in the Wiener circle? I'm going to allow you guys first to pick. Alan, we're going to start with you. Then we're going to go to Murr and then myself. I'm going to give you the Wieners. If you have any questions about what type of Wiener dog this is, I probably won't be able to answer you, but I'll do my best. So we have the Shy Dog, which is out of the Midwest, which I think is it's Pickles. It's like the Chicago. New York Dog, East. Slaw Dog, Southeast. You might have to correct me on this one. Is it Sonoran? Sonoran Dog out of the Southwest. Chili Dog South, or the Seattle Dog from the Northwest.
Ooh.
See, I'm a pretty picky hot dog guy.
Well, Alan has first crack.
I know,
right?
but just without knowing what's on these dogs, I'm gonna struggle here because
I think I'm leaning chili dog out the gate. Just it seems the most innocuous. Like I'm turning down Shy Dog right off the fucking gate. I don't care what any of my Chicago friends say, who definitely don't listen to this fucking podcast, but that dog is fucking trash. Who's putting pickles and tomato? It's not a fucking sandwich. I mean, I guess the argument can be made. We'll have that for a fucking different day, but that shit's gross. Fucking New York Dog could get weird. Slaw Dog, I don't know what that means.
By the way, Seattle Dog is cream cheese.
Seattle Dog is nope. That's a hard pass. Sonoran Dog, I don't know. I mean, Southwest, I would assume it's just like some Mexican stuff. Fucking Chili Dog.
Yeah,
I think
you're
Chili
right.
Dog's Sonoran Dog. Is that what it is?
I've got your
Sonoran.
I've got the
bacon wrapped hot dog, traditionally grilled, served in a soft bolillo bun, topped with a variety of condiments. In this one, it looks like it's jalapenos, onions. That could be cheese or mustard. I'm going to go cheese. So it's bacon wrapped.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I would eat a Sonoran Dog. Yeah, now that we've kind of dove in here. But Seattle Dog, out. Don't care what anybody says. Slaw Dog, I don't know what kind of slaw the Southeast is making. Fucking just like regular ass coleslaw. That seems weird. Actually, it seems kind of delicious.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's vinegar, mayonnaise, salt, celery, dry mustard, black pepper in your cabbage mix.
That could actually fucking slap. It just sounds weird.
Yeah. Is it you know, is it that grimy ass?
I'm sticking chili for the purpose. Go ahead, continue. Sorry, go ahead.
Is it the slaw that you got at the Bridge Diner that came in a Dixie cup that someone threw together with a ton of mayonnaise, or is it some real fucking cuisine, equal parts mayonnaise, equal parts vinegar, which you need to fucking do. Actually, cilantro and some slaw is really good, but people, I don't want to get all hoity-toity or bourgeoisie on you all.
bougie woogey.
All right. Bougie, bougie. So the slaw dog from the southeast is taken. Murr, your selection for the Wiener.
Chili dog.
500.
Honestly, at this,
Chili dog, sorry.
I'm going. I gotta go with anything without mustard, man. I know the Chicago dog. I hate it's like Alan
You
said.
said
It's
without mustard?
yeah, without mustard. I hate fucking mustard. So like the Shy Dog,
That's
I think that
wild.
Shy
That's
Dog
a
comes with
wild statement.
like long
Go ahead.
pickles and like tomato slices.
Tomato.
And I know they like to do their dark brown mustard on that. I know New York is like a mustard ketchup combination. The slaw dog looked good up until, and it's already taken, but it's also got mustard on it with the slaw, so not my thing. I can't imagine they put mustard on a chili dog, though, right? What'd you take, Alan?
I took the chili dog.
Okay, you know what? Okay,
You can
Alan.
double down, man.
Hold on,
I
We'll go
took
to
the
that.
chili dog solely because
No.
we didn't go through. We didn't go through
That's
the
not how this
actual
works.
like. That was blind. We hadn't gone through anything.
Here's the thing.
Honestly, I might take that Sonoran dog, knowing what I know now.
Wes's mouth is like a fucking dumpster outside an old apartment complex. He will put anything in that mouth and he'll enjoy it. He likes all flavorings. It's fine.
Yeah.
What was on the Seattle dog? I know you said cream cheese, but what else was on there?
Doesn't even
I
matter.
think all I saw was cream cheese. Often topped. Okay, cream cheese is the key ingredient. Often, but not always, topped with grilled onions, jalapenos, and other toppings. Might include sauerkraut, chili sauce, and barbecue sauce. Oof.
Dude, I'll tell you what. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Seattle dog. I think I think that sounds okay to me. You hold the sauerkraut. I'll take everything else that they've let's go Seattle
I was gonna
dog.
say with the grilled onions, it didn't sound like I could see how it would work with the like tangy, sweet, with the meaty, oniony goodness. Like I could see how that could work, but my man put slaw on that bitch, and I was like, no.
You know what?
Or fucking sauerkraut.
The
or
other
whatever.
day,
No.
I've been doing a lot of bratwurst, so I'll do a bratwurst on a nice soft Pepperidge Farm bun, split on the top, and
brats.
I put slaw in there, and then I put sharp cheddar, and then I topped it with chili and ketchup. And I know, but chili and ketchup, yeah, because the chili's got like a bitterness where the ketchup has like a sweetness. That shit was fire, man. Because you got the crunch of the slaw on the bottom. So don't sleep on a slaw dog, man.
That's it. I'll take the
No,
slaw dog.
I think a
Yeah,
slaw
man.
dog would be all right.
All right, Wes.
You just called me a dumpster outside of a shitty apartment complex, and you're sitting there telling me I'd raise my nose at ketchup on
Good point.
coleslaw and chili. Got it. All right, so I am going to go with the Sonoran dog.
Yeah, that sounds
This
tasty.
anything that dips its toe into south of the border cuisine is your boy's flavor. That is
That's fair.
I
That's
eat
fair.
that cuisine every fucking meal. Three square until I croak. So we will go with the Sonoran. I was debating the Shy Dog just to be a little bit, a little bit combative on this, as I have had one at Wrigley Field. Albeit I was about 10 beers deep, so you probably could have put a turd on that bun, and I'd be like, there's your Shy Dog? Aces. Someone's been eating pickles. So, anywho, you can stream this Friday, the 23rd, so if you're listening, it's today. If you're listening a little bit later, you might have missed it, on Fox Sports, and then there's a few other streaming platforms. 2 p.m. on the 23rd, check into the Wiener 500. Folks, we will be back with Friend or Foe. All right, party people. When I say middle, you say class holes middle. Wait, what the fuck?
All right, let's get to it. We are going to see if you agree or disagree. Friend or foe, going to read a news story to you and see what you think here. Now, something similar has happened to me where I've acted in a certain way, but a customer found a terrifying one-word note on a takeout box and went to Reddit and asked the question, should I call the cops? A customer's fast food dinner came with a terrifying one-word note, help, written on the outside of the packaging. The individual took to Reddit and asked what everyone else would do. Under the text, she wrote, should I call the cops? My boyfriend thinks they're just being funny, but I truly don't know. The user posted a photo of the burger and its takeout box with the one-word note of help written on the back along with the order receipt and had the chilling word typed on it. The customer was clearly confused about whether this was a prank or if it was something they should be taken serious. So, quote, seriously, It seems legit. I'd rather call it in than be wrong. If they're playing a prank, no harm, no foul. And then some people were saying, yeah, just call 911. No risk, no harm. And then an actual cop commented on the Reddit thread saying, quote, I'm a police officer. Doesn't hurt to call. We'd probably show up with 2 or 3 officers just to investigate and see what's going on. Best case, it's a joke. Worst case, they actually need help. I personally wouldn't arrest anyone involved, just to give you a heads up if it's a joke. So, friend or foe, you get your fast food box. Let's say you head over to the old Mickey D's. You get a quarter pounder with cheese meal. On the outside of the quarter pounder with cheese box, it says, help. Do you call the cops? Yes or no? Friend is yes. Foe is no. Alan, go.
Damn, you're writing on my QPC box? That's crazy. I might not know. I might not even notice that, honestly. I'm not even going to lie.
Look at this. Burger King's got new insignia on its quarter pound box. That's wild.
Nope. Nah, probably not. I mind my own business. Especially if it's like a McDonald's or something. That's fucking wild. Like, I don't know. That's a public place. People could walk in there. I don't know what's happening there. I'm staying the fuck out of it. Nope. I think that's just me, though. I don't know. That might just... No.
But isn't that like the kind of thing that happens when you see these stories, like a waitress comes and drops off the check, and then the girl at the count, she's like, I don't know who this guy is, help me. And then they're like, oh, cool. Hey, could you guys hold on 1 second? Our credit card machine's down. We just gonna get up and running here. And then they actually saved this person, and now you're saying, like, meh, not my business.
There's more context in that one, and I'd be more apt to intervene in the fake scenario you gave me first. Just help on my QPC box. Nope, not my business. Nope. Mm-mm.
Well, that's not. I mean, that is the scenario. Like, I don't know if she was at a Hardee's or whatever.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying. I'm just making a comment.
Let me just say this, Alan.
Different scenario.
No offense. Yeah. I'm not surprised, Wes.
Yeah. No. Nope.
I do
mind my own business.
I do kind of agree with the cop who wrote in saying it's better to be wrong in this scenario. It's better to be wrong than preemptive. If something, I'd rather someone go there and just be a prank rather than someone actually needing my help and me kind of turning a blind eye or just saying, no, I don't know. They're doing nothing. Did they look at you when they handed you the QPC box? No. Did they mouth anything? Could you read lips? Did they do like a help me or grab your wrist when you went to take the order? Nothing like that. I guess I'd have to truly think about the context. Now, granted, I would be beating myself all the way home. I would be beating myself up all the way home, knowing the person that I am, being like, what if you're going to watch the news tomorrow? If you see on the news tomorrow morning, if something happened, someone was murdered, someone was held up, someone was held hostage. So I would begrudgingly call the popo and say, I think this is a prank, but my conscience is way too heavy. I'm really sorry.
Well, it's almost selfish for me to say that, yeah, I'd call it in, because it's just what you said. I'd be beating myself up about it. And I remember I went to college late, but I do remember I took a sociology class, and when I first legit learned about the bystander effect, I was like, I'm such a contrarian. I'm like, I don't want to be that asshole who doesn't act because nobody else did. So I've done this kind of nonsense on several occasions. I remember there was a guy, he was parked on the side of the road in a van just off of the shoulder, and I was like, ugh. What if he's having a heart attack and nobody's going to fucking stop and this guy's just going to die? So I made a U-turn out in front of Craigtown Market West, went back. I'm glad I did, because it looked like he was about to take advantage of an underage girl on the side of the road, and that was weird.
Jesus. I
was like, hey, I don't know what you're doing in here, but I'm going to make a phone call, so you might want to get to stepping. And I just was like, because I didn't know it. Then I rolled. Next thing I see, brake lights, they take off. Did I get her out of danger? Probably not, but I definitely stopped the moment. But the worst one, we were living at the University of Maryland, and I guess somebody had written help backwards on the big plate glass window, and we're all fucking, yeah, does that say help on the window? Yeah. Should we go help him? No, it's probably just written on the window. So I went and knocked on the door, and these fucking just stoned out fucking super hot college chicks are like, what are you talking about? It's like your window. It says help on there. I just want to see if you guys are right. After Halloween, boom, smashes the door in my face. Motherfucker. So, yeah, I would feel really guilty if, again, I checked the news or the newspaper the next day and somebody got local Hardys shot up by madman. And it's like...
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but also, boy, am I glad I minded my own business last night. You know what I mean? Like... What's me being a victim in the Hardy shooting gonna fucking help anybody? You know what I'm saying? Like, no.
Would be hero with bullet holes.
Yeah. Nope. Minding my own business. I'm good.
Martyrs don't get to enjoy the celebration because they're dead.
Yeah. No.
I'm not saying I'm John Rambo or something here. I'm saying like I'm Karen Make a Call. Like, hey, I got a weird thing on the outside of my quarter pounder with cheese box. I don't know what it means, but I think you guys might want to head down to the Havre de Grace McDonald's. Just check it out real quick. Bye bye. I'm okay with that. Like I don't die in that scenario.
No, I mean I don't think that's a bad thing. And I think it's also like I don't call cops. You know, I mean, so like there's,
you don't want your name in a report.
Nope. I mean, I know I could be anonymous and shit, but they're gonna ask questions, and I'm gonna be like, I don't know, go investigate, go do stuff. Like, I'm good.
Gosh, man, I also think of every movie scene that's like, it's some young girl, she's trembling and she's got like this, help me, and it's like, ha 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 ha, and then that's her one shot. Like, either the plot of the movie changes drastically one way, or it just moves on. And
it just keeps on going.
I want to change the plot, man.
I thought you were going to say in that scenario where you pulled the U-turn and you stopped by the van on the side of the road, you were like, young lady, get out of the car. You hop in like, all right, buddy, what are we doing here?
Jesus.
Get some man meat here.
That was a weird. Yeah, that was weird. That was a very strange walk up to a van situation.
Yeah, trying to make light of a funky situation. I also this referred back to this is not even a good bad movie. It's a bad movie. Do you guys remember Bushwhacked at all?
That sounds familiar. Or I'm thinking of the late '80s, early '90s tag team duo.
Daniel Stern is a convict on the run who ends up being a Cub Scout master.
Yes, I thought that's what it was, and yes,
leading
I
a
do
gang of Cub
movie.
Scouts through the wilderness with a leather jacket.
Definitely,
and,
great film.
Yes. So the Cub Scouts are doing like smoke signals, kind of SOS type thing, and the actual Scoutmaster out on their trail says Belp. Oh, those young bastards are trying.
Move on.
Jesus.
No, they actually they're looking for the kids. That's why he realizes that these are the Cub Scouts, but like they don't know they're underlings. They're so young in their Cub Scout career, they don't know the age.
They're so green.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like typing out like instead of SOS, COS. Like I was gonna help you, but you spelled it wrong. Sorry, boys.
It says Belp. I guess the overly protective friends have it.
I think so. I mean, because to me, there's really no harm in doing it. It's sad that we've kind of gotten to this spot in America where it's like, again, I understand Alan's apprehension and everything, but if it's no skin off my back, man, like, what do I, just call it in.
Right.
But then I would also, the same way you said you'd be beating yourself up, like, I wonder what happened. I would be doing the same thing, like, hey, can you guys give me a call back and tell me if it was a prank or not? By the way, end of the story is, in fact, it was a prank. She did end up calling the cops. Quote, yes, it was an employee playing a prank. 1 million people called into the restaurant to find out what happened because she had posted it on Twitter, or on Reddit, rather. That's the funny part about that to me is... They
should get in trouble.
The prank is now on them, though. Because I guarantee that employee got fired for writing help on the fucking box. So that's the other thing, Alan, that you may not have thought about, is you could fuck someone's entire life up by doing the right thing.
Yeah, didn't even think about that, but... See, mind your own fucking business is what I'm saying.
What do you guys think the punishment fitting the crime in this situation? Like 20 hours of community service?
You should have to work at like a help center.
Is it illegal?
Illegal to fake? I don't know. You might be right.
I don't know.
Is it crime committed?
Yeah, I don't think it's illegal per se. It's just like bad taste. Fucking.
I don't know. It doesn't necessarily cause a mass panic, but it feels like the written version of fire in a movie theater. Though.
I guess in theory, like a cop could write him up for like wasting resource, for like Karening, basically.
Well,
like
endangering the peace or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's
like,
when
or just calling cops when you don't need the cop, like abusing 911. Like,
but see, if I was the employee,
that's illegal.
I would definitely lie and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was at the drive-thru and I was trying to get my coworker to come help me, and I wrote it on the box and didn't realize I gave it to a customer. My bad." See, I just bullshit them.
That's clever. That's good. That's good. That's good on the fly.
You could get away with that. Yeah. I think that would fly.
Yeah,
maybe.
That's a good argument. I could sell that.
Or I was just writing poetry. I was just writing whatever came to mind. Help. The next one said death. The next one said finger blast. I don't know.
I was practicing haikus, one word at a time.
Drive-through meal box Tourette's. I just write stuff on boxes. It's just whatever comes to mind.
It's a real ailment, asshole.
But there it is. That's your friend or foe, and tonight the friends have it.
All right, we'll be back right after this short break with our Fun Fact Friday.
Well, we're just going to have to use our brains. Damn it.
And now, Fun Fact Friday.
Well, let's get to it. And guess what, boys? We got ourselves a brand new source of knowledge for your Fun Fact Friday. Now, it is Will Kingsman's 1,500 plus mind-blowing fun facts for the curious.
They got a caricature of Einstein, a giraffe, an astronaut. What else they got on that fucking thing? King Tut, a T-Rex, a rocket, Jupiter.
A little bit of everything. Oh, don't forget this Mayan pyramid down here.
That Mayan pyramid?
Yeah, a cartoon like whatever the fuck that is. Cheetah with a mane. Who knows? Aliens, astronauts, planets, the concept of space and time. But let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers. On a Friday, of course, brought to you by our great friend. You can find him over on TikTok and Instagram. It's the Cuckster. And the Cuckster's got a big, delightful Memorial Day weekend coming up, does he not, Wesley?
That's correct. It's a 2-for-1 special for all vets out there, veterans or veterinarians. And if you happen to be both, the Cuckster and his wife have recommended and suggested that you bring the thermometer that you used on the dog and don't wash it.
Oh, Jesus.
God. So, make sure you check out the Cuckster and all of his adventures on Instagram and TikTok. That's Cuckster for life. Cuckster for life.
Cuckster's got some new artwork on the arms. Things are shaping up for the old Cuckamaniacs.
Hey, and when we split this episode up, that's a bit right there, okay? Let's just cut that fucker right there. Let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. Did you know the first 3 letters of Sweden and Denmark spell out Sweden? The remaining 3 letters spell out Denmark. This is for our new cask of Denmark / Swedish, our Nordic friends who listen to the show.
Our Nordic friends, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, folks, for those of you who don't know, our analytics show that the Nordic region of Europe have taken a liking to the middle class holes. We got a spike in downloads. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Spread the wealth. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends
about our fun facts.
Tell your friends about their fun facts.
Yeah.
That's good.
You think that was done on purpose? You think
I don't know, because, again, language is so stupid to me, especially when we start to translate it over. Like, I don't even know. Do Swedes call their country Sweden? Sort of like, do Germans call their country Germany? They call it Deutschland. So do the Swedes and the Danes, do they call themselves by the name that we call them by? Or is it just a wild coincidence? But if it's not, it makes perfect sense why they would do that.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
That's why it's a fun fact. We don't have the goddamned answers.
That's right.
Did you know the average person walks by almost 16 murderers in their lifetime? Like, hey,
Jesus.
how you doing? Good. They killed somebody.
I always think that's average. Imagine if you're one of those bastards who happens to putz by 30.
Well, I mean, if you lived in New York City, I bet you walk by many more than that inadvertently.
Maybe more like Chicago or
Yeah, okay, that's
St.
fair.
Louis, something like that.
That's fair.
Yeah, if you're nomadic, if you're a rancher, maybe one.
Maybe it's you when you walk by that mirror every morning.
You walk by it every day. That's right. Yeah, that's a good point. You didn't think about that. But if you live off the land and you don't see a whole lot of people, you might not walk. It's just the average, the mean 16.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's world. Is it U.S. or does it give you?
It just says average person, so I mean, I guess that could be. I mean, globally, again, you start to talk about like, what's a murderer? You go to some of these countries.
I'm sure, the Colombians might have a few more in there.
You had it coming. It's not murder. It's honor. No, but I thought about this the other day. How many? I would like to see the statistic on this. Like, if you committed a random murder where you had no malice towards the person that you took out, and you did it from like a distance, would you ever get caught? And what are the odds of getting caught if there's like no motive, just the shits and giggles of, you know what? You wake up in the morning, I'd like to take a human life today, and then you're just driving around like that guy looks good. And then you just keep moving. Like, would anybody find you? I'm not trying to give anybody any ideas here, but...
Yeah, probably. I think so.
I think nowadays, with like the technology that they have and the roadside cameras and stuff, although my mind immediately trekked back to that dude. Remember that guy in 03 who was the sniper who was plugging people off?
DC sniper,
DC sniper?
Yeah, and his only... He couldn't stop. He couldn't stop himself. He just kept doing it.
So if you think he did like one or two, they probably never would have found him?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, they had no leads, up until it was like 5 or 6.
I'll just never forget.
We found him on a truck rest stop somewhere between Frederick and Hagerstown.
I'll just never forget that because of your dad, Wes, because they were like looking for a white utility van. Your dad just being like, fuck.
a white Chevy Astro van, circa 1990. Yeah,
getting pulled over all the time.
Speaking of things men don't get rid of, Jesus, that thing should have caught fire long ago. A 5-speed of all things.
I always say, always so jealous of that because Dewey and his brother Wes, who's right in front of us right now.
Hi,
that guy.
I watched him getting picked up from soccer one day, and there's like a mattress in the back. Like that was it. No seatbelt.
Nice.
Just a fucking twin mattress in the back of a white utility van.
There was one where I think Dewey was 13, and we went to a very small organization wrestling match, and I'm talking this is like 3 or 4 rows of seats in a firehouse hall, if you will, and then everyone's all pumped up on the way back, and we're like wrestling on that mattress. There's probably 10 of us, and my dad, I think he had to occasionally be like, sway the car. Come on, guys. This thing's top heavy.
Jesus.
3 concussions later.
I mean, I try to remember. I mean, these names mean nothing to you, Alan, but like Sean Buchanan, Trey Giraldi, and a few others. I mean, these weren't your average size 13-year-olds. These were some ready for high school linemen at the point. But yeah, that is funny. Actually, my parents said, because I was going to school in Frostburg at the time, and they were like, "Be careful when you come home." I was like, "What are you shooting people in like Montgomery County?" Like, no, I don't know. Kind of that worried.
I was at College Park at the time, and he was. Yeah, that's where he was essentially. We were like, "Fuck."
That's a little sketchier.
We just wear Target shirts and walk around campus. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I think your chances are better if it's just once, and you're really diligent about the situation.
Ruining a generation.
But, I mean, they have.
families.
No, like you said, could you get away with it? That was the question.
Yeah.
And now I think we'll use Route 70 as an example because this is where this guy was traveling up and down. I think they have cameras on like every quarter mile to figure out the time, and then the cars that go by, and you get the license plates, and voila.
Yeah, I think eventually. It's so hard nowadays.
I know this sounds kind of fucked up, but I almost feel like it's un-American to have all this surveillance going on because.
Yeah. I mean, I think that used to be a thing that you conservatives hated.
Because like
Yeah, right.
the thing about American law, like liberty, has always been like, prove it. You know, and it's like, when you can prove everything now, it's like, you know, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's the tough part.
It wasn't that like. When America was founded, it was like, well, we expect you to do some fucked up shit, but only if it's really bothering other people. And if you did something, and it was like, prove I did it. It's like, well, we know you did, but we can't peg it to you. So, you know, you move to another state, change your name, and I guess we'll see you down the line.
That's like I don't know. This is about to take a dark turn, but like it's kind of on topic. I was watching a Law and Order SVU episode, and they were chasing down this guy, and I come to find out he was like the feds had kind of like an eye on this whole thing around Katrina. The pedos around Katrina time and like Louisiana and shit were able to just kind of pick up and fucking disappear to different parts of the country and fucking assume new names and shit. And they were like, yeah, it's become a fucking problem. Like, like the FBI and SVU were like, oh, fuck. They're like, yeah. So that was a thing that happened.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not saying I'm agreeing, but if FEMA had done their job quickly,
I mean, I get it. Yeah, it's fair. You could say it. Like, I get it from a weird. If I put myself in the mind of a pedo trying to escape fucking prosecution, I'd jump ship.
Yeah,
so to speak.
Yeah.
Head on down to Mexico.
Yeah.
Just be gone.
Guadalajara.
Oh, God, get yourself down to Guadalajara.
Did you know Violet Jessup, a.k.a. Miss Unsinkable, survived the sinking of the Titanic, a collision on the RMS Olympic, and the sinking of the Britannic? 3 ships.
I'd be like, I am not getting on a boat with this broad.
Yeah, right? Or, what were you doing, lady?
What are you doing, lady?
I mean, I feel like you get away with, hey, you survived the Titanic. Wow, that's amazing. Good job. And then, like, okay, all right, the Olympic, all right, that's a little sketchy, but wow, bad luck. Okay, the Britannic, too. All right, lady, you're coming with us. We got some fucking questions for you.
Aren't those, like, all, like, sister ships?
I think so. I'm not sure about the RMS Olympic, but I think the Britannic was...
The Britannic was one, right?
Yeah, the Britannic was, like, a sister ship of the Titanic, like, same, like, design pattern.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Did she die of a random homicide?
They all were.
She died in a plane crash, actually.
The odds of that. I hear some like you'll hear about shit like that from time to time, and I'm trying to shuffle my brain for a good example. I've seen there's been ones where people have gotten in airplane crashes within a month. Some of those are like, I'm not talking about commercial, like, small single engine planes, things like that, but. Yeah, this is interesting. I've never heard this before.
No, yeah, that one I never knew. But like, yeah, but to be a part of that many tragedies, stop fucking sailing, dude. What are you doing? I mean, I feel like you get away with the Titanic. It's like it's trains, planes, and automobiles from this moment on.
And I'm just like going from my own personal mental health. Like, if I survive. The first was the Titanic in the timeline. Is that right?
Yeah.
The Olympic. Actually, I'm looking at it now. So there was 2. The Olympic and the Britannic were sister ships of the Titanic. The Olympic was first. The Titanic was second. The Britannic was third.
Okay. Was the Olympic as, I guess, I say tragic? They're all tragic. Was it as devastating as the Titanic?
The Olympic served as a troop carrier during World War I and then resumed passenger service and then was retired in 1935. It did not sink.
Yeah, that one didn't
It did
sink.
get hit by a torpedo during the war. It did not sink, though. The other 2 sank.
Maybe that's not, if I'm trying to think of because I was immediately using the Titanic as a baseline for this, because if I walk away from that unscathed, I don't even know if I want to be around water.
Right.
I might dip my toe into a river and be like, oh, okay, good. Yeah, I'm fine with that one. That's good with me.
You said she survived the sinking of the Britannic?
Yeah.
Damn, what was she doing on the... Okay, so here, I only asked this question because fucking, obviously we know what happened with the Titanic. The Britannic launched in 1914 and then was requisitioned by the British government and used as a hospital ship during World War One. And it sank in the Aegean Sea in 1916 after striking a mine. So was she working on the hospital ship?
Maybe she's conscripted as a nurse or something, and she just happened to be there. Yeah. Fuck, dude. That's... I'd love to, like... And I love watching these old interviews. They have interviews of people who survived the Titanic, and they just talk about it. It's a different generation, too. It's like, well, I heard the scraping, and, well, we got to the highest part of the ship that we could, and, well, the next thing you know, I saw bodies crumbling around me, and there were frozen people all over. Ooh, it was a bad day, I will tell you that.
Yeah, there weren't too many. I want to say photogenic, but videogenic people that took a legitimate profession. There weren't too many Hawk 2 people were like, oh, fuck, it was amazing. Shit was the goddamn thing was upside, then it capsized and was unbelievable. Like you just said, it was just, very melodramatic. Like, well, we got to the ship and we got to the boat, and man, I was just glad to see the boat that rescued us.
I do remember the band playing a slow waltz right before catastrophe struck. That is true. Yeah,
something the Colonel was on the Titanic, huh? That sounds like a bit, honestly. I
went and grabbed 3 bags of uncooked chicken and took them with me.
Listen, man, you were in waters that house icebergs the size of taking out the Titanic.
Yeah.
It's not about to be fun.
No.
The only
we
reason
did the polar bear plunge.
The only reason it's not frozen is because it's an ocean.
Yeah.
But it's still cold.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Dude, speaking of cold, there's a new documentary out on Netflix. It's like The Fall of Brett Favre or whatever. And they're showing, like, when Green Bay wasn't that great. And they're showing people in the stands. Now, look, we have clothing technology now that is the most superior that's ever existed. There's dudes, like, smoking cigarettes, like, shivering. You see their cheeks, like, rippling because their body is convulsing. And it's like they're wearing, like, a burlap sack over top of their, like, fucking members-only jacket. Like, I just wonder if just people, were they just that much harder back then? Or did they just not know any better because there was nothing better? It's like, well, you want to go to the game, it's going to be 30 below, and this is all you got.
Well,
got a tank top, put it on.
I think life expectancy was probably drastically lower, too. But, yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
You want a little bit of both?
You wonder why do his cheeks look like that? Well, Milwaukee's best in frostbite. That's it.
Yeah,
it's a good combination right there.
He has.
Yeah, actually, I was looking up the Ravens schedule came out, and I've never been to an opposing team's field, and football is a different beast. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's much different than baseball. I've been to a lot of different. I've been to Yankee Stadium as an Orioles fan. I've been to Fenway Park as an Orioles fan, and for the most part, it was delightful. So I try to be strategic. I'm never going to Philly when the Ravens are there. It's never happening. Sorry. I've been to Lincoln Financial, but the Ravens are in Green Bay at Lambeau this year. But it's in December.
That.
Ooh.
It's in December, and I was like,
I would still love it. That would be amazing. If you're gonna go, it's got to be in December.
That's the experience.
We're going to Green Bay in August. Fuck that shit. Like,
look, as somebody who I know Maryland is not like the coldest of cold weather states, but we get like 1 week a year where it's like this is unbearable. Man, if you dress right, you'll be all right for 4 hours. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
Just don't wear their colors. Just go regular ass clothes. No, you don't have to wear a Packers jersey, but just don't wear a Ravens jersey. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I would wear a Ravens jersey. I think the folks at Green Bay would be, accepting, receptive, and moderately
I'm
abusive.
not scared of the cheese people. Like, I'm sure they're perfectly nice as long as I'm respectful.
That's true.
I got a good story for you. This is the school I taught at. It was close to Philadelphia, and most of those people are Eagles fans. And a teacher wound up getting multiple tickets, like 12 tickets, to take students to an Eagles game, but he had to have another chaperone. The only person that volunteered was the head of the religion department. He's like, fuck, okay. Guy shows up. It's a divisional game. Shows up in a Packers jersey. He's like, "What are you wearing that for?" He's like, "I don't know. Well, I'm a Packers fan. I thought it'd just be kind of a third party thing." They get up it's in the 500 level, the Veteran Memorial Stadium, not Memorial, it's the Vet, and someone says, "Hey, take that off." And then he goes down to get himself a drink, and then comes back, and in front of all the students, this guy goes, "Hey, cheese dick! I thought I told you to take that fucking jersey off."
He quit religion the next day.
Hey, cheese dick!
That's awesome. That is so fucking awesome. Yeah, the last fight I got, I mean, I'm not saying I was being a pussy, but I was gonna die if I got beat down by these guys. Thankfully, I had some dudes with me that were more than capable. But no, all I yelled was like, "I can't spell Massachusetts, but I do know Boston sucks." And this is after an Orioles-Red Sox game, and these motherfuckers crossed the fucking street in the middle of Baltimore traffic to come punch me in the fucking face.
Oh, I would gladly fight some fucking Boston fans.
And they were from out of town. That's my point. Like, so there's just certain fans you just don't. You don't.
Yeah, that's when those riots happened. Across the street from Camden Yards, pregame. They were playing the Red Sox. And I was like, oh, shit. This is going to get ugly.
They're cocksuckers.
It's going to get ugly.
Like, we're nice people, but don't pop off.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, did you know astronaut Michael Collins took a picture of Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin in the lunar module while the Earth was in the background, meaning that he took a picture of every human that had ever lived except for himself.
Probably fake, though. probably totally fake.
Theoretically. No, but no,
anything's possible on a soundstage.
That's what's fascinating. I remember the first time I ever saw the image of the pale blue dot. It's a famous photo. One of the Voyager probes took it. Like, it was like looking through the dust of Saturn's ring, and you can see this small little blue pinprick, and that's Earth. And I was like, holy shit. Every person who has ever lived or died, every war, everything that's ever happened that we're aware of is in that one little blue pinprick of light. That's fucking wild. Like, how it just... The insignificance of humanity fucking, like, really sprang forth in my soul. Like, we ain't shit, dude.
Well, I mean, if it wasn't for that...
we found out about the firmament, and all that went out the window.
Yeah. If it wasn't for that uncalculated attack, those bastards wouldn't have crossed paths with guys like Randy Quaid.
The ice wall.
Crop duster.
Fucking all of it. You know what I mean? Life's different now.
That has got to be one of the greatest scenes in cinematic history. Like, no shit.
I'm back.
Hello, boys. I'm back. And then
he's a great character. It's such a good character.
Well, because think about this. Because it's also redemption for him. Because he's been looked at as like the fucking town drunk, which he is. But he became the town drunk because nobody believed his story. And now they have no choice but to believe his story. And now he gets to have his fucking, like, revenge, intergalactic revenge.
Yeah. You know, I mean, suspend belief of the fact that, you know, he was a kind of a shitty prop plane pilot and hopped into a F-16 and...
Well, he flew in the Vietnam War.
He flew in Vietnam, I thought, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I thought that was the president.
They both did.
They both did. Yeah.
They both did? Okay, all right. Then I have to go back and watch it.
I was like, and the redemption arc, like, and he gets to escort the president.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello, I'm here, Mr. President. Yeah, and then the missile jams. I do have a question for you. When he's trying to recover from his drunken stupor, and his son brings him octane, he's like, yeah, more. Keep it coming. What do you think's in that?
Just
a little Zambuca?
No, just fucking coffee with half the water it should have in it.
Okay. Some espresso.
Just sludge.
Yeah.
Coffee sludge.
He opened the valve off the back of the F-16.
He's chewing the coffee. Like,
Let me tell you, working morning radio, and if you went out, you had an event the night before, and you didn't get home until 11 o'clock or midnight, and you had to be up at 4 in the morning, the pot of coffee you made as soon as you got to work was double coffee, half the water. And you could almost chew the coffee. It was dark. No sugar, no cream, just fucking worse than espresso.
get you going.
Gotcha. See, I like to think that the kid put a little something in there. Some Baileys, some Sambuca.
Well, at that point, man,
A little
you got an alien invasion and the world is at risk. Just get that man a bale of fucking Colombia's finest and put it up his fucking asshole and just let him go. What are you doing? He ain't coming back.
Yeah.
He knows he ain't coming back. Just give him all the blow in the CIA fucking vault and have a good day of it.
You guys got that alien Coke here, don't you? No. Yeah.
Look, World War II, the reason the Germans were so good, they were putting meth in their fucking chocolate.
They were just taking meth.
Yeah. Well, when the chocolate ran out.
Yeah.
All right, boys, we're skipping all the other ingredients.
The Swiss can't produce anymore.
Dude, have you ever watched the video of Hitler at the 32 Olympics, like where he's tweaking out?
36
36, my bad.
in Berlin. No,
Yeah.
is he?
He's rocking. He's fucking like tapping his knee, dude. He was all messed up, dude.
I thought that was just a reaction because an African American was winning the events.
No.
Jesse Owens made him.
Dude, look,
made him twitch.
That is a recently found video. Not recent, I mean like in the last 15 years. Yeah, look that fucker up, dude. Dude, Mussolini wanted out of World War II. He was going to like tell the Germans like, yeah, I think we're done. And he was in the motorcade, and he was telling the doctor like, I'm feeling a little run down. They gave him a shot of fucking cocaine, meth, and testosterone, and he fucking just talked at Mussolini for 3 hours, and Mussolini was so scared of him, he just said, all right, cool, we're in it. We're good. Cool. Nice visit.
God. What did he do? Is there rumors that he was suffering from syphilis too? Or was it something else? Some of the other VD?
Yeah, syphilis was kind of a thing back then.
But I didn't think he was banging a lot of chicks. I don't even think he was banging the chick that he was with. Ava Braun or whatever.
Yeah, after a while, the meth, you get that meth dick, I think. After you start seeing things like permanent hallucinations, fucking sexual pleasure becomes not quite as important.
Yes. Secondary to the world wanting to burst down your fucking door.
That too. A little bit. It's just stress. A little stress.
And finally, did you know when people jerk themselves awake, it's because their body thinks they're dead. It's their brain's way of making sure they're still alive since their heart rate has fallen too low.
Didn't know that. I didn't know the heart rate thing.
Yeah, because I mean,
I knew it like jerking. Yeah, I knew it was like.
I do a lot of cardio. My resting heart rate is like fluctuates between like 49 and 52. So I can only imagine like if you're in a dead ass sleep, perfectly calm, and you get down to like 35, and your body's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
It's not enough. That's
Right.
not enough pumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's a dream where the you can't find the parachute cord.
Right.
Whoa. Yeah.
God, I remember when I was a kid, I had the falling dream, and I remember jerking myself awake and just jerking myself straight to a fucking 4-foot drop out of the fucking bed. Golly.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Dude, William, this freaked me out. It was like 3 or 4 years ago. He jerked himself awake, and we were staying at a campground, and they had bunk beds. So, of course, he's like, can I stay on the top bunk? I'm like, yeah, buddy. It's your vacation. Do wherever you want. That son of a bitch fucking fell like 6 feet to the top bunk. Didn't even faze him. I was like, buddy, you okay? He's like, what, huh? What? I was like, yeah, you're all right. Come on. Just lifted him up, took him back up the fucking ladder, threw him back in the bunk, and no harm, no foul.
That was my cousin was telling me after Foxy had passed away that they had done some retreat like that, and her and her 2 brothers at the time we were kids were they were like, all right, everyone 2 to a bunk. And my dad, being like the 14-year-old uncle, was like, nah, fuck that. I get one to myself. You all on the bottom bunk. They're like, ugh, 3 of us? He's like, yeah, I don't care. I get one to myself. Then he started sleepwalking and screamed spiders and fell off the top. And then was still sleepwalking. He's like, oh, shit, try. They said none of them slept a lick after that. They thought there were spiders in the cabin.
Oh, sleepwalking. God, I wish I had experienced that at least once. I think I might have once, and Dewey was like, just don't talk to him. He's sleepwalking. Just leave him alone. He'll go away. And yeah, he opened like the fridge, didn't get anything, closed the fridge.
He would slam like half of a 20-ounce Diet Pepsi and be so impervious to the carbonation that would make, most mortal men fucking wither. He'd just glug, 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 glug. And then just walk back to bed.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
Claude.
Tonight on Before You Go, we send a very melancholy trails and a very heartfelt rest in peace to George Wendt, a.k.a. Norm Peterson, from the sitcom Cheers. At least in my Mount Rushmore, and many other people who grew up in that era's Mount Rushmore of sitcom. It's just an absolute gem of a character. Him and Cliff Clavin will go down as, two of the best. I've looked up a couple of the things that George Wendt starred in and maybe like carried over into other sitcoms, but he was Norm, and I have my own thoughts, but I'll let you guys kind of take it away in your own way.
Well, Alan, since you're younger than all of us, like, how much do you remember of Cheers? Was it more of like rerun stuff you remember? Or?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was reruns, but like it was on in the house fairly often, so like I remember a decent amount of it and like watched a decent amount of it. So yeah. No, that one sucked. It's when you don't think about. And he, like, I don't know what other characters you have that he played, because none come to mind, like, off the top of my head. He's Norm.
All I remember of George Wendt past Cheers is he was in the Michael Jackson Black or White video, sitting with Macaulay Culkin on a stoop for some fucking reason. And beyond that, zero. I got nothing. I know nothing that George Wendt was in.
Yeah, he starred as Norm in Wings when he was like in a layover on Nantucket, whatever that were, Nantucket or what is the other island off of Massachusetts, Martha's Vineyard.
Well, that was a good show.
Yeah, that's right. I just like the sitcom rang louder to me. Like, I loved it when I was a kid. I liked it when I was in college. I loved it later on. Because I like the idea of a sitcom of just a bunch of people sitting around a bar getting loaded and shooting the shit and their lives unfolding. And Norm made no bones about the fact that he hated his wife, hated his job, hated everything else outside of Cheers. His only sanctity and his only enjoyment was, let me pop in. Hello, everybody. He'd hang his trench coat up. Norm! He'd have some one-liner going across the bar. And Sam would slide him a beer, and hilarity ensued.
But I did write down my 2 favorite Norm one-liners. Sam, hey, what's happening, Norm? It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear. So there's that one. And then Woody asks him, Mr. Peterson, oh shit, hold on, I didn't write this one down, unfortunately. Hey, Mr. Peterson, what you up to? My ideal weight if I were 11 feet tall.
Okay. There's a great one where Frasier comes in right like close to really close to closing time, and it's Woody, Cliff, and Sam. He's like, yeah, but Dr. Crane, what are you doing in here? He's like, oh, and what Vera's pregnant, and she has these weird mood swings. She wants flour. And it's like, what, for you to bake something? It's like, no, she just wants to gobble big handfuls of flour right now. And the crowd laughs, and he's like, no, I'm actually going by the airport. They have this pizza joint that stays open till 3 in the morning. He's like, really? This late? He's like, yeah. He's like, that's like a 30-minute drive. And they pause, and Frasier says, well, they make a hell of a pie. And Norm goes like, I'm in. Oh,
the best clip I saw, this old guy walks in, sits down at the opposite end of the bar, And he's like, "Ah, man, they say you can go away, but you can never come home." And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I used to come in here 20 years ago. In fact, those staircases used to run the opposite direction when I used to come here, and all the tiling's different." And right behind Norm, like, Norm's been sitting in the same spot for 20 fucking years. Like, the joke is that the bar's changed, but the only thing the same is fucking Norm.
Right there. No,
Norm in that fucking bar stool.
And he actually had he had one of the last lines with Sam. Everyone leaves the bar in the last episode, and he tells, basically says like, "Your one true love is Cheers" in this bar. But also go back and you can find it on YouTube because it was a 90-minute episode, and they did it on NBC at the time. They were having like Jay Leno interview everyone from the cast while it was going through commercial breaks, and they are fucking loaded. Wow. Every last one of them. Oh, all of them are drunk. Ted Danson, Shelley Long, Chrissy Alley, all of them like, yeah. So check that out. Rest in peace, George Wendt. Your character, Norm Peterson, will live on forever. Tonight, actually, Alan, tell everyone we can find the Middle Class Holes.
Yeah, you can find the Middle Class Holes, all your favorite social medias. Just check us out. Search the Middle Class Holes on whichever platform you choose. And, of course, for your listening pleasures, all of your favorite podcast and streaming services, the Middle Class Holes. Easy peasy.
Lovely. Tonight, on This Week in Class Holes History, Murr presents us, or at the time was presented, this is circa 2021, 4 years ago, where he had to unfriend a family member from social media. I think all of us can either identify or sympathize with this conundrum in our lives. Enjoy. We'll be back next week. Take care.
Murr, word on the street is, and by the street we mean you told us that you gave your mom the Axe on Facebook. And I don't mean Axe body spray. I mean the fucking chop.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, look, and all I got back from you was, "Murr," and I didn't know how to take that. No, here's the bottom line. My mom is an older lady. She's approaching 70 years old, and I'm not saying she doesn't know how to use Facebook, but she certainly doesn't use it the way I believe that Facebook was intended. And, with the whole pandemic thing going on right now, I don't need all the stupid fucking memes and the thises and the that's. And I told her, I warned her. Here's the thing. I warned her. I said, listen, every day I've got to get up and I still have to go to work and I have to face this invisible demon, the invisible enemy. I was like, I don't need all your stupid little, your little aha Facebook memes. And she just kept doing them and doing them and doing them. And finally it was like, oh, Dr. Anthony Fauci finally gave Trump a mask to help save all of America. It's Trump with duct tape over his face. I'm like, all right, we're done here. Thank you very much. But I warned her 3 separate times. I said, please stop doing this. It is not helpful. And I don't care what side of the political fence that you sit on, okay? It's just, it's not helpful. It's not necessary. She kept putting up different, articles. And I always tell her, I say, hey, what's the URL on that particular article that you're referencing as a factual source? I don't know. UB4129.gov. Like, no, it's not. It's not that. Have you ever heard of that website? Who's the source on that? I don't know. I just saw it and posted it. And so, yeah, I had to give her the Axe.
The Onion. The Onion, one of the most credible sources in all the intraweb. I'm typically of the mind to just unsubscribe. But Alan, have you had any close calls with family?
Not well. My mom is a big Trump supporter, which boggles the mind, quite frankly. But either way, sometimes I've had to unfollow her. Well, yeah, I'd have to what is it? Facebook, you can snooze them for 30 days. I have to be like, man, I need a break. I can't be doing that shit. And she turns 70 this year, as a matter of fact. So yeah, I've definitely, she's needed help with her phones before, and her phone before, and it's an iPhone, and so I kind of only half know how to use it because it doesn't compute in my Android brain. But every now and then I'll get on there and I'll see some Trump emails, and I'll route them to spam. just for shits and giggles.
That's just evil.
No, but no. Other than that, no, not really. There have been just some, like, not family at least. There have just some random Facebook people. I'm like, I don't even know you. I don't know how you got here, but yeah, we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, there's certainly like so you hear social distancing. There's a social cleansing of oh man, God, what? There's no added benefit to being your friend, watching your shit posts every day, watching you tell stories about your children 3 or 4 times a day. I mean, unsubscribe is easy and somewhat fulfilling, but I think the full-on unfriending sometimes really just gives you an erection, makes you want to pop open some brandy.
I felt like this weight lifted off of me, because the other thing is, I feel as though because she's there, and even though I'm a 40-year-old man, I feel handcuffed by the things that I want to post on my own page because my mom's going to see it. You know, we don't have that type of relationship. I know there's a lot of people, well, my mom's my best friend. Bullshit. My mom's my mom. Okay. My dad is my dad. My mom is my mom. We're not friends. We have a very, father-son, mother-son relationship. And I'm just like, it was getting to a point where I was going to start embarrassing her the way I would embarrass one of you if you put a shit post up. And I was like, no, that's going to be crossing a line. We're not friends. So guess what? We're not even Facebook friends anymore. So goodbye. So long. Farewell. Because I've gotten in arguments with people who complain about their Facebook friends. And I always say, they're your friends, right? Well, they're just Facebook. They're your friends, right? Well, they're just Facebook. Yes, but Facebook classifies them as friends, and you have accepted that friendship. So you reap what you sow. So I decided to take my own advice and snip her off.
Trim some fat.
But I very cowardly have not told her that I've done this yet. So I don't even think she realizes it.
She's going to go looking for some pictures of the grand boy and wonder what the fuck's going on.
You don't announce that kind of thing, I don't think. I mean, why would you tell her?
Well, I feel like I have to because, again, the whole mother-son guilt thing was going to start to rear its head eventually. And I also don't feel like I will have fully proven my point until I make her aware of the situation. Because
she stumbles across it. She's like,
I don't know that she will. And honestly, because of her, I don't post. Like, I don't post things on Facebook because I don't want her shameful gaze directed in my general vicinity. So I don't really post anything anymore. And like I said, now I feel like this weight has been lifted, and I might just let my freak flag start to fly a little bit.
That's right. We're going to see a whole new Andrew quarantined up, shooting a rap about things. I want to get your opinion on this. Now I have a friend, Facebook friend, someone who I would categorize as a more than acquaintance, not necessarily friend. But this particular person posts so much about their child, and I get it. You're proud, and I'm not knocking people that do it, but I think that there comes a limit. Not only that there comes a limit, but there comes a certain amount that a person can take that has to watch this through their news feed of the shit stories that you tell about some conversation you had in the car where your child said some odd fucking thing, or how your son hit a ball 12 feet off this lazy changeup that you threw with a wiffle ball. It went on and on and on and on and on. And I told a group of friends of mine, real friends that I speak with on a daily basis, that I said, every time this person posts, I'm going to say, looks like he shit himself. Do you think that's a one-way ticket to getting myself kicked off his friends list? Looks like he pooped his pants, or looked like he crapped his pants, or looked like he shit himself.
Yeah, but you know what? That's your right to do. And I fully support that. Like, if that's your antidote for hating what they post, then I say go for it. But then if they defriend you, I don't know. It's kind of passive aggressive, because you could either unfollow them, or block them, or whatever. They could still be your friend, but blocked. Or you could literally shit post on their kid's post and see what comes of it.
Well, I think it was more of a passive aggressive approach to telling him without telling him that it was overboard. What he was doing was just too much.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're getting a kick out of it.
Do it. You should do it.
I did it once.
You should just keep doing it.
Just keep going. Oh.
Yeah, because I think it's hilarious. That's the only reason.
And you're putting the ball in their court. If they, you know what I mean? Like if you're annoying them as much as they're annoying you, then it becomes kind of like a Mexican standoff, you know, and just see who fires first. So yeah, I say go for it. But again, I did try to take a dose of my own medicine with my own mother, saying like, if I'm annoyed by this person, they don't have to be my friend. Like, it's like if it's somebody that you don't feel like you would hang out with based on just what they're putting on the virtual world, then you probably wouldn't hang out with them in the real world. So it's okay to let people go. Sometimes you have to
properly vet. Yeah. And a good friend of mine, a good friend of Alan's, Don, said one of the greatest things about it. He said, it gives everyone a voice, and maybe some people don't deserve a voice.
100%.
Yeah.
That is correct. Yeah.
That's absolutely right.
I do feel like what social media does is it does expose the amount of stupid people there are in the world, because there are certain accounts like Twitter's a better example of this. It's like there are some certain brilliant people out there that don't post things often, but when they do, they're super impactful. So they have a very meek voice. It's very powerful when it speaks. And then you have the other 95% that are just loathsome morons, mouth breathers, and they have an outlet. And I guess thankfully in the past, they would just be the village idiot you could avoid, but now they're the global moron that punches you in the face.
Yeah, go ahead, Alan.
No, it's just fascinating.
I do think one of the other things, and this is not a humorous point, but Obama said it, and this is before his term ended. He said, anyone who gets their news strictly from Facebook, the problem with that is that the algorithm that's being created that of news links that you click on is just going to continue to reaffirm your biases with news that you want to see. I feel this way. I click on this. This is the shit. It's trash in, trash out.
Well, that, and I usually, and the problem too, again, it is the algorithm, and the algorithm has no concern for your feelings. It's just we generally get pissed off at something like bullshit, and then you click it, and you look at it, and all you're doing is breeding more things that you hate to fill up the thing that you're supposed to love. We don't go looking for puppies, but we go, when we see them. But that's not the thing that we're fascinated by. We're fascinated by the things that we are against and the things that we hate, and then we keep clicking those things, and then more of them pop up, and we keep clicking, and it's just it's a downward spiral of bullshit, and we all have to swim in it.
Yeah. And the goddamn algorithm, it keeps assuming I want penis pills. I don't know what extends. I never bought them, never needed them, never tried them, except once in college when I thought it was something else. Like,
What'd you think it was?
I don't know, Adderall or something.
Oh. Well, either way, you were up all night.
I didn't ask any questions.
So there's a very, very poor screening process for things that went into your body at that age.